Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Akakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone, preaching his word, truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching his word, truthfully, faithfully, and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching his word, truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. And I say shalom to your Akim out there. And this is in the news right here. It's about the American dollar is slipping, I believe. And this is an article from September the 10th from Reuters.com. And the dollar dips on stronger risk of fatigue after U.S.-China call. And it says the dollar fell on Friday on improving risk of settlements on news that the U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese leader Xi Jinping spoke for the first time in 7 months. It says in a statement, the White House says Biden and Xi had a broad strategy discussing including areas where interest and values coverage and diverge. The conversation focused on economic issues, climate change, and C-19, a senior U.S. official told reporters. It says the dollar dipped 0.35% to 6.4265 yen, which is, I believe, an Asian percentage of the dollar. It says nearly a more than 2-month low of the 6.4233 yen reaches last week. The Australian dollar gained 0.41% to $0.7397. And New Zealand dollar rose from 0.56% to 0.71.5% of dollars. It says the dollar index fell 0.07 to 92.49. The greenback, Salakia for that. It says the greenback has fallen from a 9-month high as August as investors wait on new clues on when the Federal Reserve is likely to begin paring its bond purchases and eventually rise rates. That to me is like most important thing. What does the Feds hike rates? And unfortunately, we may not know that for a little while, said Eric Nelson, Salakia, a macro strategist at the Wells Fargo in New York. Federal Feds officials are grappling with rising price pressures while job growth remains below their targets. And it says the dollar pair's loss after data on Friday shows that the U.S. produced prices is increasing solidly in August, indicating that a high inflation is likely to persist for a while with supply chains remain tight as the C-19 endemic drags on. It comes after employment data for August released last week shows that the U.S. job growth slowed, while the wage inflation rose more than expected. The Wall Street Journal said on Friday wrote that officials will seek to make an agreement at the Fed's September meeting to begin paring bond purchase in November. The euro was largely unchanged with a 1.1826 on Friday, a day after the European Central Bank says it will trim emergency bonds purchases over coming quarter. And the greenback gained 0.10% to 109.91. against the safe haven of Japanese yen. So yeah, after I was reading this whole article right here, it shows of that call Joe Biden had with President Chinese leader Xi Jinping. You know, doesn't matter what the situation is, it's still gonna change until that. Even if they do have, even if the feds do come up with a new report with the jobs and everything, with the economics and everything like that, once you start to see the reports of that every month, especially believe the government is gonna expect to like raise the, it's gonna be raise of high for inflation. It's gonna be raise of high tax hike raises. Because we living in that time. Is like the American dollar is gonna continue to slip. Sometimes it might rise back up, and sometimes it might slip back down. According to what's like the economic job gains and the GDP, growth development process, I believe. I guess that's what it stands for, but I might be wrong. But far as we're gonna be living in a time of it's gonna be fully implemented with the U.S. dollar is gonna continue to slip, and it's gonna turn into a digital currency. And in all these other nations, they might have allies with each other of exchanging money back and forth and all that. But when the times come, all these nations gonna slip away from the American dollar. They're gonna separate themselves from the American dollar, and they're gonna form their own digital currency. Because they gonna feel like their currency is gonna be more value than the American dollar. Because the American dollar is gonna slip too, and it's gonna turn into a digital currency. And that's when that MOTB comes in. And for all these other nations as well too, they're gonna turn into a digital currency as well too. So this was a article that I want to bring in the news. So I just keep on posting with the news and doing continue sit down lessons as well too through the Holy Scriptures. As I continue to do sit down lessons, and continue to bring out news as well too. I'm gonna do more videos to being in the news as well too. It might not be what the scriptures bring it out. It's just gonna be me showing my two takes on the U.S. economy, finances, and things going on in the world in the news as well too. I'm gonna start doing videos as that as well too. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, to do videos like in the news and show my take on it, So with that, that's all I wanted to bring out. I just wanted to bring out this little video in the news lesson, sit down lesson, and I hope it was for edification's sake, for educational, financial edification's sake as well too, for edification purposes, and educational and edification and financial, as well too, because these are prophecies unfolding with the financial thing, uproars of the people, prophecies unfolding, in these last days. So I'm gonna continue to keep my eye on these news, like we're supposed to be the true watchmen of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh and Yahushua. Be a watchman, be on the lookout for things in the news as well too. Be that watchman, So with that, I would like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone, preaching his word, truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, preaching his word through the four corners of the globe. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching his word, truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. Until next time, I will say shalom. And once again, these are the times that we are living in, that the digital, we're going to be turning to a digital currency. The American dollar is going to continue to slip, even if it goes back up and back down, even if it balances itself going up and down. But it's going to be, it's going to form into that digital currency, and that digital currency is going to come into full effect throughout the whole world. All the nations of these different countries, they're going to the ones that been allies with America, they're going to ditch the U.S. dollar, because they're going to look at there's no more value for it, and they're going to turn to their own currency of their own countries, of their respectable countries, and it's going to turn to a digital currency. In the United States of America, they're going to turn into a digital currency as well too. They're going to ditch the American dollar paper, because when that time comes, it's not going to worth nothing. It's going to be worthless. It's going to turn to digital currency, because everything is going to be digital on the financial side as well too. So with that, I would say shalom.